Welcome to Orthodox Unscripted. I'm Elissa Davis, and you're here with my friend Jeff Holton. Jeff, how are you these days?
I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be on here again. I was on your show probably about 5 years ago, and I was actually just listening to some older episodes as well, and thinking about how much each of us changes in 5 years. I wish you could have everybody on for a second time. But I
Right?
want to start with can I start with a quick story from this morning? This
Yes,
morning
please.
before liturgy, I was talking to a friend about being on the show this afternoon and talking about who you are and what you've been doing for years doing this. And I share with her, I said, I'm nervous. I was nervous 5 years ago. I'm nervous about being on a live show. And she looks at me. She knows me well. She knows that I speak well. And she says, what are you nervous about? She asks really good, direct questions. And I said, well, I'm nervous about saying something that I'm going to regret, or it's being recorded. It's going to blast on the internet forever. And what if I say something wrong or something inappropriate? And she says, just be yourself and tell the truth. I said, well, that's good advice. And then she said, we listen and we do not judge. And I thought
Hmm.
that's reassuring. And then she said, out loud. And I thought, okay, but that actually got us into this discussion about the fact that all these people you have on here. One of the things I love about what you do with this is you're getting orthodoxy honest. There's just an individual telling the truth about their life, and all of our stories. Some of them are boring. Some of them are very interesting. Some of them have horrible traumas that have led them to where they are today. And all of us just have a different way we got to being more or less in the same place here. And I love that. So
Yeah,
take it
it's
away.
true.
Here we
I
go.
love it too. I love it. She's really right. It is always funny to me. People get so nervous. It's so common, right? And it used to be live on the air. You could take things out of the archived version, but you couldn't stop the live one, right? So now it's archived the whole time. So there's nothing to worry about because I can protect you and
You
remove
have you have
remove the
the
evidence.
15-second button.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I don't think we
It's
need that.
fully. I can just go and remove it completely. But no, but it's really funny because nobody ever says anything crazy. I mean, it's been like 8.5 years, and no one says anything crazy because it's true. If you're yourself and you're just speaking the truth, you don't really regret saying things that are true, and it's not in your nature to just spout off about terrible stuff you shouldn't be mentioning. I mean, it's just most people just don't do it. I don't know. It's funny. I think the kind of person who does it in the first place is the kind of person who wouldn't be sorry about it, frankly. So,
That
but
makes sense.
but no, I love this because you're exactly right. People are so interesting, and we have a lot of places where we can go to hear like sermons and interesting theological discussions on different things, and it's really good. It's a lot of food for thought, good way to learn. But we need a place also that just sort of says like, okay, Orthodox people are real people, and we go through real things, and this is how it looks for us, And I think it's encouraging to people to see someone like them who's also going through it and still getting by. But
I think Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And, internet orthodoxy, the phrase internet orthodoxy, it gets a bad rap, and for good reason. It's in some cases it really deserves that bad. Again, it's people. It's always been this organic, real time. I mean, the church through history, 2,000 years is
yeah,
what is the church right now today? It's the people who are in the church. Well, it's the collection of people who are in the church today, and the saints that we interact with, and like you said, I don't want to get too theological and heady, but there's a dynamic to the way God interacts with us. But there is a context of the present day, and we live in the here and now, where the internet has been a thing for 35 years, and we're using it. Here we go.
right. That's right. That's right. And it is true. I mean, the anonymity online really gets people like into places they wouldn't ordinarily go, right? And they're just
Hmm.
calling each other out and accusing each other and all kinds of awful things happen. So I like to balance it a little with just people talking, like not really necessarily about anything controversial, just things that are sort of interesting and they're part of the real practical lived experience of being Orthodox, right? Like how is Orthodoxy like a part of your life getting through this crisis or through this whatever, just an
Yeah.
ordinary work day or whatever it is, right? Or even, just because we're Orthodox, we can also talk about other things, right? Like we can just be real people with each other. I think it's beautiful. But you're right, the church is very much the people in it. And, it's a great joy. And we forget it sometimes. We think it's all the hierarchy, and it's really all the people in it. But so what have you been doing for 5 years, Jeff? What have you been
For
up
5 years. Uh, so it's funny. So again, I was doing some homework. I listened to our chat from 5 years ago the other day, and where it left off was when I admitted, I think I'm going to rejoin the choir, and then I paused and I caught myself and I thought, ooh, I think I just threw myself under the bus because again, this is now this is public. It's like, I'm like the choir director's probably listening. So I did. I rejoined the choir. So I've been keeping myself busy with that. And I actually moved about an hour away. Hour and again, if you know Bay Area traffic, that's an hour, not during rush hour.
Right.
I
Yeah.
moved about an hour away, and I'm still going back for for choir rehearsal once a week and to sing in liturgy. And during Lent, of course, there's going to be even we're going to have Wednesdays and Fridays. And it's funny when I went back into it after a long pause. I started singing in the choir. It must have been 2000, 2002 or three. But it took a pause, mostly because I was raising kids and sitting in the pews with them, and
Right.
then got back into it a few years ago. And at the time, it almost felt, I don't want to say begrudging, but it felt like I was doing it out of obligation, out of responsibility. I'd done this before. We're restarting the choir. I guess I should be there. And I love it. I absolutely love being part of that liturgical cycle and that liturgical motion. And I'm kind of going right now through this, realizing the, I've gone from I don't know what I don't know to I have a few things on the list that I don't know, and I just want to absorb it more. I've actually been looking
Love that.
recently, trying to find any seminary that gives a certificate in liturgics. There doesn't seem
Mm.
to be one. There's a lot of courses out there. I mean, you can find them on YouTube, reputable, familiar
Sure.
names from Orthodoxy who will give you information about it. But I don't see any seminary that's just doing a certificate on mostly music, but just the motion of the
Hmm.
liturgics, the cycles,
Right.
the calendar, and so that's kind of
That's neat.
where I am now and where I want to get to.
Yep. Yeah, I think, well, I did a degree at AHOS at the Antiochian House of Studies, right? And
Okay.
they do a degree that's like the choir degree but
Mhm.
it's really about music. It's not about, I mean, it is also about liturgics, but I wonder if you could check if you could maybe without getting a certificate, maybe just attend some of those courses and just
Yeah,
know the information. Then you'll name it
it's
yourself.
true.
You can name
I
it
don't,
the Holton liturgical certificate.
I don't know. No, I don't need that. I don't need my name on it, but
We'll
that's a
name it after somebody then. We'll be the
good idea.
Archbishop,
We'll find somebody.
Jacobos or somebody.
Mhm.
But so what is it that you love about being in the choir? Because I know so many people who just love being in the choir. And what has it done in your life? What does it what does it make different for you?
You have to pay attention to the service. It takes it out of being a spectator sport. It's where it's participatory, and I'm not saying that the choir is um, it's not a pompous statement. It's just an
Right.
awareness that it calls me. It calls me to stay engaged, to be aware of what's going on, to be ready for the next response. And
I love that.
I do love that. And when I first started attending an Orthodox church about 25 years ago, one of my Protestant criticisms was it seems like everybody's just following a script. And everybody just, if they're looking at the book, they know where they no, these people know it backwards and forwards. It's like that's what, and it means something to them was what I came to find. But you know, keeps the mind from wandering. It
Yeah,
keeps the soul engaged.
that's beautiful. That's really neat. I've heard that from a number of people, and also just the hearing the hymns and getting to learn the theology in a new way. Like I find that my
Hmm.
friends in the choir will just know some of the nuances of what we know about, whatever Patriarch Joseph and people like this, because they've been singing the hymns of Holy Week every year, right? They've been going through all the Orthros services and all the beautiful things. But I am jealous because I have ADHD, my mind wanders. So it's always my task, right? To like try to keep on task. But, and it goes okay. But I think being in the choir would be great for that. Unfortunately, I can't sing. It's like really
For
bad. It would
for
be,
what
it
it's
would,
worth,
it would not be a gift.
I think I do too. I think I also have ADHD, so I'll just throw that out there. I don't have a diagnosis, but I have a strong hunch.
I think there are a
Um,
lot of us, and I think we're all attracted to each other. That's my theory, because they're like everybody with ADHD is friends, and
yeah.
nobody else can deal with us. Maybe I don't know, but it's funny.
But I'll also
Okay,
say we have a young choir, young in the faith, young to Orthodox. We have a number of converts in the choir, and they're learning so much. But it's a fascinating time to see. Most of them have been Orthodox for 2 years now, and they're absorbing, and they don't they don't realize how much they know.
right.
So it's really interesting how much they're already at a point where they could be teaching some of the things they've learned to others, but they still feel like they're young and new. And it's neat how the choir is organically giving them the same experience that I just described, that I can articulate that I'm having.
Right.
They're getting there.
That's so cool. That is really neat. It is beautiful anyway to see converts come in and sort of develop into things. And, when they're talking to you and it's whatever, they don't have quite the phronema or ethos or something, right? And then you just see it just sort of grow in them. And it's like,
Yeah.
welcome. Here you
Yeah.
are now. You're one of us now, you know, but it's beautiful. It's really neat. So how's your parish doing? Do you guys having a lot of converts?
Oh,
I know some places are
we just
crazy.
we it's not North Carolina, but
Right,
it's
right. Because it's California
we
Bay
just
Area, so it's, yeah.
we had a new chrismation this morning, which they're not it's not constant, it's not every week, but it was nice to see a new member come in today. um so that's exciting. It
That's
is
cool.
growing. We actually did have, I heard the official stat. I think we tied last year or 2 years ago, we tied a record for number of chrismations.
Nice.
So there is that.
Nice.
um the parish health, the parish is growing. There's excitement. We're in the middle of a building project now. I also got to tell a little parish history here. The building that we're in right now was purchased in 1974 with the intention of it being a temporary spot until we built a new church.
Really?
So yeah, so that site is kind of
Oh,
falling apart, and we don't have a date on the calendar. I think I'm allowed to say this because it was discussed at our last General Assembly, and of course that's public meeting minutes. We expect to break ground this spring. So
oh,
we have the
great.
property, we have the design, we need some
Oh,
infrastructure on it. We think we're ready to go.
that's great.
It's
That's a
exciting.
big deal
So
too, because San
yeah,
Francisco Bay Area, this is not cheap real estate. This is not an easy thing to do, really.
yeah,
It's,
that's
it's, everybody's got different things that are holding them back, right? And certainly finances can be a big one. So that's cool. I'm so glad you're getting to do that. That's neat. That's really neat.
it's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to I have this image in my head of what it's going to be like to worship there in 5 years, maybe.
So
I
cool.
probably think that's about right.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, we just built a new hall. And I'll say,
Okay.
you picture it and you think about it and you wait, and there are all these delays and you wait and wait. And then you walk in and it's like the greatest thing ever. And then the next week, it's like you've been there the whole time. And it's just completely familiar and wonderful and beloved. And so it's cool. It's neat to be a part of something like that. That's really good. That's it. So you moved an hour away. Now, how
Yeah.
old are your kids? Are your kids
So
teenagers right now?
two of my kids are adults. The youngest is a teenager now. Um,
Okay.
so two of them are already finished with high school, off in college, and one is
Awesome.
just in middle school.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's cool. Yeah, I have a middle schooler here at the house too. They're fun. I
Yes.
like them. They crack me up. It's a good age. So
It's
when you moved, did the kids anyone have to change? They wouldn't change
well,
schools, right? But he's
no,
young
the kids
enough that,
the kids are they spend almost all of their time with their mom, and
oh, so they're
they're
in the one spot and they're just coming out
yeah.
sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do
Well,
come
that
out
makes sense.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And I moved nearby my sister and my mother, so we're all close by out here, and the
Oh,
kids do come
nice.
by once in
Oh,
a while.
that's beautiful.
Um, and my relationship with that part of the family that's still fairly close to geographically closer to the parish is very good. My ex and I co-parent well, so there's a lot of
That's good.
cooperation and communication there, and it's
That's
so
beautiful.
I'm uh, not too separated from them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's hard. I mean, I'm divorced as well, and
Hmm.
co-parenting and raising kids,
Hmm.
it you learn a lot and you do grow. It's definitely not ideal, but you definitely grow in like patience and being able
Yeah,
to compromise and get things through. And
we
it
learn a
can
lot
you do
from
definitely.
life. Yeah. Until about 6 months ago, I was out of work for a year, and kind of struggling to find a new job in tech. I did, but during that year, one of the things that afforded me the opportunity to do was I don't know if you're familiar with Project Mexico, a mission
Yeah.
down in Tijuana. So I built a house this summer. That's totally out of my wheelhouse. I'm a software geek. Instead I was picking up a hammer. I was using 22 caliber cartridges to shoot nails, don't shoot nails into a foundation. And
Wow.
it's like, this is kind of fun.
That
Um,
is so neat.
yeah, it
What a
was, and
really
it's super rewarding. I mean, that project, there's two components to the
Mhm.
project down there, and one is home building, and the homes are rudimentary. They're no plumbing, no electricity, nothing particular inside. So we built a 2-room home. We do it in 4 days. That's 4 days from the site is prepped, but we pour the foundation and build the house, and it's ready to live in 4 days later.
Wow.
It's a fascinating process to see that go up. And the other component that they have for that, that we didn't get to work with, it's that they run it all internally, is an orphanage. And they've got an orphanage mostly for boys. I would say mostly. There's a couple of exceptions, but they've got a group of boys that they'll raise all the way to adulthood.
Right.
And one of my favorite things about that is the education component, the stipulation that they have. Of course, it's a nonprofit. They're always looking for additional donations, but
Mhm.
all of the orphans who want to go to college, and
Wow.
that's fascinating to me that they have this opportunity. And some of them have gone to Holy Cross in Boston and become clergy. Some of them go back to the project and stay on there in various roles. But this is my first time going there. I intend to make it a habit. I want to do that
Right.
some more. So yeah.
So it's Project Mexico and St. Innocent Orphanage, right? So if
Yes.
anyone wants to
Yes.
look for it, how nice though to have so much time. Yeah, I mean, it's not nice to be unemployed, I know, but it's kind
Yeah.
of nice
No.
to
No.
be
It
when
did.
you're
I
able
wouldn't.
to use that time.
Yeah, I don't think I could have taken a week off otherwise. Although I say this, I'll say this as well. This is kind of funny. I What I filled my time with during that year I was off was I started driving for Uber. This was my thing. Um, but
How was it? What's it like?
it's fine. I'm an extrovert. It's like having new people in my car. Some of them want to
Right.
talk, some of them don't, and then it's fine if they don't. But I get a cast of characters, every week. It was great. Um, but I was really looking forward to not having to drive for the week that I was going
Oh,
down on the trip. And the night before we left, the guy directing our group, Mark, he's actually on the board of the project down there. But Mark says to me, says, "Okay, well, I'm going to drive my pickup truck, and you drive the van to church in the morning." And I said, "We're taking two vehicles?" And he says, "Well, yeah, we need to put the luggage in the pickup truck." I said, "Oh, right." And I said, "Who's driving the van down there?" And he says, "Well, I
guess
figure we'll
what?
just take." I figure we'll just take turns. And nobody but me drove for the week that we were there till we got him back to the church. So apparently I'm a professional driver now, aside from I need to update my resume. So.
I mean, you are actually. You're being paid to drive.
Right.
I mean, it's not really a vacation exactly. Not even from driving. I guess it's a lot of
No,
hard work.
but
But it just seems it seems
it was long
beautiful,
days, but it
right?
was
Like
good. It was,
you could.
the staff they've got down there, the interns. A lot of the interns are undergrad and seminary students. Gosh, I wound up meeting a bunch of people while I was down there who live in the community where I moved to. So it's good to make
Oh,
some new Orthodox connections that way. And um, the mood is just great. The food, the staff that they have cooking for this facility, we eat the same food that the orphans eat, and it's incredible. I mean, I've never had a Mexican meal in a Mexican restaurant like the stuff that they were making. So, if you like food, come to Project Mexico.
you'll have to earn it, but it's worth
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But that's neat. So do you do like? I assume are there kind of prayer services built into the
yeah,
day when you're there as a volunteer? How does
yeah.
what's the daily schedule when you're a volunteer?
We're up for breakfast, and there are morning prayers before we leave. There's kind of like a morning, like a quiet time or devotional time. Um, I'm working backwards before that, but when we get back again, sure, there's an evening service. They'll follow the same liturgical services on Sunday, and we are joining the community there for the service. There are local people who go to church there. There is a chapel that's it's not used for regular services, but they do have a chapel to Saint Innocent up at the top of the hill now. It's beautiful, small, but it's a beautiful chapel. But they have kind of an open area for liturgy generally, and as far as I know, they use it year round. It's got a roof over it. It's the dining area as well. But um, I'll tell you, I don't know Spanish. I picked up a few more words while I was down there, but it's I'm used to switching back and forth between English and Greek in my parish, but
Mhm.
switching back and forth between English and Spanish, uh, I found I could follow along very well. By the end of the week there, it felt like home.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. It's kind of like summer camp or something, right? Like when you have a little
Yeah,
community, in this rhythm together, it gets
yeah,
it's very beautiful. It's so nice to be able to live like that, right? Like to be in a community morning prayers and evening prayers, like a
yeah.
group, a big group like that. I always think about like Eagle River in Alaska, and they have it's a community with a lot of Orthodox families who just live right
Hmm.
around the church, and they can just walk over for services anytime, and just what a blessing to be in a community. You only get that for a week or two here and there in our lives, but it would be nice to have more of that. It's beautiful. That's cool.
I've never heard of Eagle River. Now you've given me a new place to
Oh,
visit. I gotta get up
there's
there.
a book. There's a book on. Oh no, I can't remember the name of it. I'll look it up. I'll send it to you. One
You
of,
see the documentary Sacred Alaska?
I haven't seen it.
Have you, are you
I've
familiar
heard
with it?
so much. Oh yeah, I've heard that it's
It's
just
um,
fantastic.
I did see it in the theater when it was making its little national tour and being produced. And I need to look it up online. I think there is a way to um, to download it and watch it. And there's so many people I want to
Oh,
share
is
that
there
with.
now?
So
I hope
I
so. Yeah.
think so. I'm sure its website is. Again, I should look this up, and we'll post the link in the chat later.
Yes, we can actually. We absolutely can. But yeah, it originally when I really wanted to see it when it came out, and I couldn't because you had to be streaming it in your town. My town did it when I was out of town,
Mhm.
and I didn't get to see it, and I was very sad to miss it. But I'll have to look it up and see if it's out there yet because I love Orthodox films. It's very cool.
It was beautifully done, and the cinematography is fantastic. But the way they divided up the subjects to discuss, uh, it was complete. I'll say that it told a very full story.
Oh, that's beautiful. It is a community of grace. That's right. That's what I kept thinking that, and then I thought, no, that was a story about nuns in Alaska, but it's not.
Oh, is that a
St.
different?
John's Orthodox Cathedral is in Eagle River, Alaska,
Okay.
and the whole community lives like, not everybody, but a lot of people live within walking distance. They just happen to buy all the houses in this neighborhood. And I'm just like, oh, I want a neighborhood like that, right? Actually, St. John's Orthodox Church in Memphis is a lot like that. There,
Okay.
not everyone, but a lot of people can walk. And that's kind of my dream. Like someday I'm going to go to
I
Santa
mean,
Fe and buy a house near the church, you know,
until what, 100 years ago, that was what church was like in every community. You went to the church you could walk to. Um,
right?
yeah,
And it's just
things
a
have
good way to
changed.
do it. They have changed. And, they're good in some ways, but I think that's really a shame because it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. Do you feel like that changed the experience for you? Like compared to like let's say for some reason you were building a house that was not an Orthodox, project.
Hmm.
Um, how is it different when you're involved in this community and you're all doing it together? Was there a lot of camaraderie and did it feel kind of like a gift, like an offering when you're doing it?
Well, in a way, I'd say that's part of it. I mean, the immediate group of people I was working with were people I knew from my parish. The people leading the project are people who have experience, who have done it in the years past, who we don't know, who are new to at least most of us, at least to me, since it was my first time there. Um, but there's an immediate sense that this is, we're here for this purpose. The family of, in our case, it was a family of four, two young parents with two young boys. They were there on site most of the time while we were working, so we knew exactly who we were building this house for. And this is and the lovely thing about this is it's meeting an immediate need. These are people who are exposed to the elements if they do not get this house. There are immediate health implications if we do not build this house. And I don't know the exact process. There's one or more people who are full time with the project who interview candidates to determine where is the need, where is it appropriate, who do we give? They give these houses to them. They buy the land. Is that true? Actually, I don't know. I cannot remember for sure how all of that process works. They
Sure.
may pay for the land, but we build the house.
Okay. That's
And
so
it's
cool.
on a government parcel. They have the ability to get electricity. The infrastructure is already there for electricity. They can draw a line from the street
Oh, cool. So
to
they can
embellish
improve
their home.
it over
Yeah, they
time.
can make improvements.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean, there are areas
but
in Mexico that are really very impoverished. And I think, I mean, obviously we have community that's unhoused here in the US too, but it really feels more widespread there. And it's
yeah,
just so nice to get to go and do that. And probably you couldn't do it legally here anyway, because there would be some,
I don't know.
permit
Uh,
restrictions and whatever.
um,
But it's a really neat thing to be able to do for people.
and like I said, out of my wheelhouse and just fascinating. I built a house. I don't know how I did it. I followed it. The IKEA package said to do this, and something
Yeah.
not quite. It wasn't IKEA, but
Right. But here, Jeff, do this over and over again. There you
yeah,
go. Just push it in. That's cool. That's really cool. They must have it down to a science, right? They
they
just
do.
know exactly how to
They
do it.
they
Because
do.
4 days.
And I also, and the project itself, I think has been going on for about 20 years ish,
Yeah.
and they've moved from wood to aluminum. So what they do is they'll make the walls on site at near the orphanage. And by the way, that's another thing about the orphanage is all the boys have opportunity to learn a skill, learn a trade.
Yeah.
So some of them will be using some of the equipment that's used. They'll jig up the walls, and we'll just put, the walls are half walls. They're about 6 feet, 6 foot long sections. We'll put them in the pickup truck, drive them over, and assemble them on site.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
That's the way to do it,
uh,
though. I mean,
yeah,
really like
yeah,
sustainable
it's
building,
assembling it.
right? Like
It is.
prefab. I'm fascinated with
It
prefab
is.
houses and just the idea of like all the waste and all the work and everything is in one spot so you can reuse things and you don't have to throw
Mhm.
everything away. And that's good. That's really cool. I can see that being a really efficient process. That's neat. That's
I'll
cool.
also say
So,
I'm really glad we brought some younger men with us because mixing concrete by hand is hard. I'll
Yeah.
just throw that out there. If you ever need to pour a foundation, hire people with big biceps.
Right. Young
Yeah.
people with big
hmm
biceps.
That's
So
my recommendation.
that's a job. That's
Yeah.
really a job. That's hard.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're moving constantly for, the hour that we're spending pouring that foundation.
oh wow.
It's a chunk.
Wow. Yeah, they hand mix the whole foundation.
Yeah.
That's yeah. That's it. But it's so beautiful to see the people who are going to benefit from it and really feel like it's
It
it's
is.
for someone. It's not just so much of our work, our service work tends to be sort of we're blind from the people who receive it, right? Like you take something to a
Yeah.
food bank, or you help in the background to create something, and that's a blessing. That's a good thing. But it's so much better, I think, when we're connecting with people. That
Yeah.
just makes it so much, I think, more spiritually useful too. Like that there's a God likes it when we're nice to each other. He likes it when we get to know each other, do things for each other. That's so beautiful. That's really cool. I love that. But so now
Yeah.
you're back at work. No more
Yep.
Project Mexico. No more
Yep.
playing around.
I
Back
mean,
to work.
again, I'll still take the time off from work this summer, but yes,
Sure.
so I am still I work in high tech, more or less in something to do with training development, and it's typically short-term contracts, but I've just started an 18-month contract. So if I'm on your show again in 5 years, I'll have a completely different story vocationally. Uh, but um, right now, I am a program manager for uh, technical training for incoming people who pick up the phones to answer tech support calls at I couldn't say the name of my company last time, but this one makes the operating system that that's probably in front of you right now, maybe depending on what kind of computer you're on. Um, so
Gotcha.
they're
And you're in California. So yeah.
I'm in California working remotely. I
Yep.
do not have to go up to Seattle to go to the office, but I wouldn't mind visiting
That's
Seattle.
cool.
I know a lot of people up there. I'd love to drop in and say
Yeah.
hello.
It's a lovely
Yeah,
place. It's very nice.
yeah,
It's wonderful how life kind of has these chapters, and you sort of walk in not knowing it's going to happen, and then you look around and realize everything's different, but
hmm
often in a really good way. Like, if you've been sort of saying yes to the call that you're hearing, I don't know. I'm finding that I actually like myself older. Like I don't really mind getting
hmm
older. I've enjoyed it. I think
yeah.
I'm cooler. I'm more interesting now than I was back then. So it's good.
It's
But
interesting you say that. I find that I know myself better, and I think part of that is spiritual growth, and maybe part of that is just natural to all humans, whether or not they're well. I mean, the term spiritual growth, I think maybe intentionally bigger than our experience as Orthodox Christians.
what do you think is like, if you think back, say 25 years ago, just
hmm
becoming Orthodox, and then now? So
hmm
it's probably both the orthodoxy, big difference, of course,
hmm
and it changes you truly.
Yeah.
But and I've changed a lot. But then also that's 25 years of experience and maturity, and
hmm
especially wrestling and repenting and working on things. I don't know, what kind of differences do you see in your two selves, in yourself 25 years ago?
I Something comes to mind right away is that I'm not afraid of failing at a thing the way I used to be. Afraid of somebody seeing, oh, Jeff isn't perfect. Jeff made a mistake. I've had a lot of failures in the past 25 years, and I think I'm better at trying hard things than I used to be because I'm not worried that they might not work. I'm just going to give it a try. It's building a house. That's okay. I keep coming back to that one. It's like I built a house. I surprised myself, but that's one of the things is uh, I don't want to say losing some fear, dealing with fear differently.
Right?
Am I still afraid of embarrassment? Yeah, but the voice that speaks that fear to me is smaller than it used to be.
Yeah. I know what you mean there. It's interesting though, right? Because it's like you chalk that up to failing at things sometimes,
Mhm.
right? Like going through that experience and just having to face it.
The more you
right?
practice it, the better you get at it.
It's really true. I've become really good at failing lately,
Mhm.
but it really is true, and it is a gift in a sense. I mean, there's a I don't know. I don't even think it's just an Orthodox thing to be able to look at things like that and understand that, well, actually, I was limited. Like I wasn't brave before because I was afraid of failing. And then I found out, oh, you can fail and then just
Yeah,
get back up again, just do something else. Like,
yeah.
you know, nobody was surprised to find out I was flawed. Apparently, they already knew. I thought, I thought I was hiding it pretty well.
And
But
that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning: is this honest orthodoxy. Just be yourself and tell the truth, and that might be. I don't. I'll have to chew on this for a while, but that might be just a good summation of the Orthodox life. Be yourself and tell the truth, and that kind of sums up who we are as a community in liturgy and what we do as individuals in confession.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Absolutely.
again, Jeff. I really appreciate getting a chance to catch up with you and hear what's going on.
This was fun. This was really good. I was happy to be here, and I'm always happy to see you.